What's up, everybody? This is the second episode of the Larson Brothers podcast that we just started because it's the second episode. Currently, the first episode is up on YouTube, our YouTube channel,
and SoundCloud.
It's on SoundCloud?
Yeah, it's on SoundCloud.
All right, and soon we'll have everything up on iTunes as well. All right, well, today we thought we'd talk about Emmure, bands like Emmure, Attila, and blog sites like Metal Injection and Metal Sucks and Lamb Goat and all that stuff.
Alternative press and stuff.
Well, not as much. I guess they do it some, but
yeah.
Well, it's just funny. Like, I understand and at the same time don't understand why bands like Attila or Emmure get a lot of hate. I understand more and more why Attila gets hate now, and less why Emmure gets hate. Like, I've heard people say like Emmure's the Nickelback of hardcore metal or whatever, and it's like, okay, well, Emmure doesn't suck. You guys are obviously still listening to it, I don't know.
Well, some people are. Some people are. I guess they might just check it out just to hate on it, but they're not actually listening to it.
Yeah, and I mean, it did seem like Emmure was just phoning it in the last couple of albums, except for the other albums before this last one that just came out. But I mean, that makes sense because like Frankie ended up talking about that in interviews that they weren't trying as hard or whatever there wasn't or something in the other ones, and now they're...
It sounds like they're really actually trying on these. Not actually trying, but they're really putting a lot of time to it and really revising it instead of just going through once or twice or whatever. Like, okay, the song's good.
Yeah.
Instead of really just seeing what works. It doesn't sound like that for everything, but it does sound like it seems like they're trying a little harder on their songs. I feel like there's more cool songs in this last CD. It's funny, like every Emmure CD, basically, if it's like, say there's 10 songs, which usually they have more than that, but say there's 10 songs, there's like 3 that are actually really cool. Yeah.
And the rest just sound like Emmure by the numbers, And, Attila, I started getting into Attila near the end of when that Rage album was out, and then I really liked the Outlawed CD. And then About That Life, that's the one that came out after that, right?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was cool, but I really didn't listen to it a lot because the vocals just got too ridiculous. Like, it just... I really hate being that guy who's like, oh, the new stuff sucks, because I don't really think the new stuff, the About That Life stuff sucked. I was just like, yeah, I just really can't handle Franz. Like, it was too much.
Instrumentally, between Outlawed and About That Life, because I listened to them back to back one time while I was doing something for an extended period of time. Instrumentally, About That Life, personally, I think is written better. So it did go forward with that. But I do know what you mean with vocals.
Well, it just got too crazy. Like, it wasn't. And then they went even farther with this last album. What's this last album called? Guilty Pleasure.
Yeah, Guilty Pleasure.
They're definitely doing things to make money right now, and it makes sense what they're doing. Like, they're not doing bad. You
get it, but you don't get it at the same time. Yeah.
Well, I wonder though if what they're doing is it's like making a short-term sale versus looking in the future for long-term sales.
Yeah.
Like, I wonder if what they're doing is more so making it so they don't have longevity.
Yeah.
And then someone could be like, or one of the members could be like, well, we've been doing it for X money, but how many years have you really been making money doing it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, now, how long, do you think you can keep making money doing it this way? Maybe a long time. I don't know.
Yeah.
And if they're smart, they don't.
Well, because people think like a decade
money
is a really long time, but I don't know. It's a while, but if you think about your music career and if you're going for a long time, I mean, it's essentially forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So are you gonna be making a lot of money making money when you're in your 50s and still doing this? You know what I mean though?
Well, yeah, because he says some ridiculous things, but like their music doesn't even seem as much like music anymore on Guilty Pleasure. It seems more like I don't know how to describe it. It's not, when I listen to it, I feel less like I'm listening to music and more like I'm listening to a gimmick, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
because like Outlawed, I still like Outlawed, even though I'm not the same person I was when Outlawed came out. I still like Outlawed. I still think the songs are fun.
Yeah, I think the songs were, they were pretty good or whatever, but it sounded like you were listening to a band in progress, and it was fun for that reason. But then where they started going with, not saying I'm going to control where a band goes, but it didn't seem like they had the same, charm, I guess you could say, or something like that. I don't know.
Well, because it started being more about like, look what ridiculous thing he said in this song.
Exactly.
Like it's like some of the stuff I heard on Guilty Pleasure sounded more. I would listen to it for more the same reasons I would listen to a comedian, and not even like because I wanted to listen to the comedian more. So like, look at this little bit the comedian did that's just so ridiculous.
Oh yeah, I gotcha.
Like that one song is it's all about where they like gang vocals chant beer. Beer. It's funny.
Yeah, it's funny.
It's funny, but then like you wonder what a band like that does 10 years from now.
Yeah, I mean, it's all right to have that step and stuff in there. I mean, Corpulani, they have a whole song about vodka and also about beer and stuff like that.
I also noticed that it sounded a little less gimmicky.
Yeah, I know, it did sound a lot less gimmicky.
Serious.
It was like the delivery was way different. It's all right to be funny and joking and stuff like that.
Like what happens when the 14-year-olds that think Attila is super cool grow up? Like, dude, I guess there's a next crop of kids that are 14.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. I don't know. But anyway, to get back on track with what we were talking about here, like, I guess I can understand more and more why Attila gets hate because they just do crazy things. But I also feel like, and I don't really understand as much why Emmure keeps getting hate. It's just fun to hate them, I guess, but it's like it doesn't make as much sense because some of those songs
keep progressing. They do keep getting better.
Yeah,
some of their older stuff, it's like, wow, this is really hard to listen to, but their newer stuff, it's like, well, that was a really good song. I mean, for what they're doing,
Yeah, but then these blog sites will just, I think
probably drives traffic.
Well, that's the
like
thing.
Clickbait,
that's the thing I wanted.
Like metal clickbait or whatever.
Well, that's the main thing I wanted to talk about was like, you'll watch an interview of Attila or Emmure or something like that, and they'll be like, I'm just, I just want people talking about me. It's glad people are talking about me. It's like they're just helping me, whatever. And that's true. The blog sites are just helping them.
Oh yeah,
because it's free publicity, but at the same time, the blog sites I'm guessing, are not doing it purely because they hate these bands. They're probably doing it because I'm sure they see like their analysis of their posts and it's like, oh, when we mention Attila in something or Frankie Palmieri or whatever from Emmure in something or Emmure in something, this post gets X amount more activity.
Which means more ads get there, which means they get more money. And also if they have more traffic going in there, they're able to charge more for the ads being placed on there. Or, maybe it's just percentage because of the affiliate program or something. I don't know. But, it's helping them.
Positivity doesn't usually make people want to do something. Negativity does. Like,
there is positive things that happen, but it doesn't give a person as much emotional reaction.
It's probably more likely that you're going to find someone write a complaint about something than write a compliment about something.
Oh,
anywhere, like, how did we do? You're probably like those, say those trucks that have, the number, like, tell me how I'm doing or whatever. I doubt I bet there's a very small percentage of people who
that
call
guy
him
was
like,
really safe.
He was driving perfectly. I felt comfortable when I passed him.
He waved at me. Yeah. He had a headset on. Yeah.
I'm sure he was a great guy. I mean, like,
he looks like a good father.
Provides for his children. No, they probably only get called when something negative happens, And that's the same thing. It's like, because people will be like, why don't these blog sites ever talk about bands like they probably don't like any bands. And you know what? I don't even know if they like any bands. But I also think, what good would it do them to post a lot about bands that they like? It doesn't build. Who cares?
Yeah.
There's
only certain positive things that happen that people do respond to, and it's not nearly as often. And it's not nearly as consistent. If you can get someone enraged, they are more likely to share it and stuff like that. There's
or something making fun of Attila or Frankie. I mean, like, it's like, you know, remember that video when Frankie Palmieri got electrocuted?
Oh,
did you ever see that?
Yeah.
This is a human being that got electrocuted on stage by accident, and they thought it was funny, you know. And it's like, what horrible
it's funny
thing.
It's fun. It might be some stuff like that. I mean, it might be funny for a second or whatever, but at the same time, it's like I hope that guy's all right, you know.
Well, I mean,
you do watch people get. I
don't know.
Stuff happens,
maybe there's some videos.
But when you think it's like this guy deserved it, you know, and that's not cool.
Like there's such horrible music, you know, it's coming back. It's like,
no,
I don't know, like
what you do to our ears is happening to your body.
I mean, it's not like that was the guy from Front Porch Step or something like that, you know. Yeah. Like if that guy got electrocuted, people probably like, well, good deal. Karma just hit you for, you know, hooking up with underage girls and stuff like that.
No.
And, you know, and maybe Frankie's done that. I don't know. But like, that's just.
I don't know. I think it's horrible for that guy.
Notorious for it.
Did you say the guy, the blood on the dance floor guy? Is that what you said?
Front Porch Step, but I think those guys do it too.
Yeah, the blood on the dance floor guy. Like I completely don't endorse that at all. But at the same time, it's like you still don't wish bad stuff to people, you know.
No, I said I would get it if people were making fun of someone who did that to get electrocuted.
Me too. No. I don't know. I do get it as well, but I don't know.
But to be like, your music is so... Like, here's the thing. If someone is a horrible person outside of their music, that's one thing to hate on something. Or if they're promoting something that's... Like, I understand more now why people wouldn't like Attila because of, like... It's just kind of they're promoting garbage. Now, like, Emmure isn't like Emmure, some of that is pretty much garbage too, but, like, it is not as blatant and just obnoxious, you know?
Yeah.
But, I mean... Not that all music has to be G or PG or PG. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not saying that, but it's more so like I would get it more if someone was like, "Oh, they're horrible for that."
If parents were like, "I really don't want you listening to Attila."
Yeah, like it would make a little bit more sense. But then that would be like the worst thing probably for a parent to be like, "Don't listen to Attila," because all these kids probably follow Franz on Twitter and probably just, you know, they'd probably just be like, "Screw you, Franz said I can do what I want." It's like Franz isn't your Jesus, but he'd probably say he was, and people would probably buy a postcard that said, "I'm your Jesus," you know.
I could see him doing that.
But I don't know. So to reiterate, I understand, I guess, why Attila gets more hate now, and I kind of see why Emmure would get hate, why it's so much hate, but I don't really get that much though. Because I remember one time I mentioned how Emmure was just like a toned down Meshuggah with different style of vocals. And apparently Meshuggah is actually a huge influence on Emmure.
I think and then what was it, that guy who you were talking to about, I was like, don't mention that to any of their fans.
Yeah. Well, people won't get it. Like if Meshuggah does chugs, people will be like, that is the most progressive thing I've ever heard in my life.
So good.
That was crazy. I'm going to buy your $45 t-shirt. Right now. But then if Emmure did the same thing, people are like, what is this? What is this? What is
4-4? What is this?
Yeah.
Which is really funny.
I can write your songs with a bowl of Cheerios.
Yeah. Which is really funny because if you watch Meshuggah interviews, everyone in the band's like, I don't know why we get that so much. I mean, some of the guitar stuff's kind of weird, but everything's written around a 4/4 beat. You know, it's just, it fits right out in grid.
I don't know. Are there other genres? Do you know if there's other genres besides metal where like how hard the song is to play makes a song better versus is the song actually good?
I think that happens a lot with... Because
I don't know any other genre off the top of my head where they're like, more notes, the better. Like, who cares how many notes are in there? What's your goal?
Well, I think what it might be is when people do prog stuff just in general, and when someone's just trying to be a really good player, it happens a lot of things.
Yeah, like if they're a musician.
Yeah. But then I think it happens so much in metal because it... that just tends to be a more quote-unquote natural outlet for it, and people still actually listen to it rather than I don't know exactly, but I I think people just tend to go that way a lot more because there's more. Because jazz isn't really. I mean, it's big or whatever, but it's not. It's not the scene right now, you know.
Jazz isn't big. Frank Sinatra's big.
Well, there was a time when jazz was like
when it
the
was
big thing. Yeah. And you'd probably playing that if you wanted to push boundaries a little bit more, or not.
Now
push
you only
boundaries.
have that culture. That I'm doing air quotes. Culture guy at the bar trying to sound cool, like I like jazz. I like Frank Sinatra. Did you hear that Christmas album? Yeah, I picked that up and Mariah Carey's Christmas album.
So what I'm saying now is that the current scene or whatever, the genre that you would do if you were trying to do that, and also sell music or play shows or whatever. For the most majority, there is other stuff, but majority would be more in the metal scene and stuff like that. So I guess that's what I'm saying, answering your question of are there any other genres? So pretty much as of right now, no, not really. There are, but nothing really major.
Because I mean, I don't like I think if you're writing music, you should have a goal of like what type of music you're writing, and if you care about writing songs, or if you care about writing like technical music, and you can have them coexist, but
it's a different thought process.
Yeah, you don't. I mean, who cares how many? You don't even going into writing a song. If you're like, I want this to be a good song, you don't care how much screaming there is, how much singing there is, how much guitar there is, how many notes there are.
There doesn't have to
be
a solo.
Fills there. Like, you don't have all these other like detailed rules. Yeah, you just like, okay, well, let's write a really good song.
Yeah, you start with the foundation and then you work on the details as they come. Like, this fits good with the song still, and you do whatever the song needs. I mean, every song's just ends up becoming its own like little thing, you know. Yeah, I get what you're saying, but there's
and that's where we're at now, trying to write music like
writers.
That.
Yeah, there are people who are writers and there are people who are players, and I think a problem. Well, maybe it's not a problem. Mainly for me personally, I guess, a lot when I listen to music where people who are players think they're writers and they're writing all this crazy stuff, and it's like, okay, that's really cool that you can play it. But it's not that cool. It doesn't sound that cool.
Yeah, it's like...
It doesn't really work in the song. You have like 3 different things going on here. It doesn't really work well.
Yeah, because I mean, at the end of the day, that's why you have to decide what you want. Because if you're not writing songs, you're writing technical parts. At the end of the day, most people aren't going to remember you playing a scale. You know what I mean?
Because I stayed within a really cool scale or whatever. And scales help and stuff like that too. But when people only write it like only use a scale, like I have to stick to a scale. And for the most part, that scale will be right. But it's not always right, or you don't have to follow it.
I guess what I'm just saying is like if they write that way with that mindset, and then they go and they start promoting their music, or they start playing shows, and they're like, why doesn't anyone else get it? Why doesn't anyone else like? It's like you're not going to get the same reaction that a band like, let's just stick to metal and hardcore for this example, like Emmure would get, because Emmure, some of their songs as a song are not written very well, but some of their songs are written insanely well.
Yeah, it sounds like they have like,
and if you aren't bobbing your head to that, if you're not getting into that, and you like metal or hardcore, you're in denial. You're a closet Emmure fan, because like you're just.
I guess the first step's denial, right?
Well, yeah, because you have to have a problem.
Yeah.
Because if you didn't have the problem, you would just be like, oh yeah,
I like it. Whatever. I don't like this. I don't. I hate that.
But yeah, so then blog sites, I'm sure, are posting this stuff because it's going to get more traffic. That's my guess. And so it's almost like a fake, unless none of the people have actually thought about this, it's almost like a fake war between them. It's like they're pretending to be at war with each other, but really they're just business partners.
Yeah.
Like,
and it's only one-sided, so that's too bad.
What? How's it one-sided?
Who between the person hating and then the
no, the blog sites and the bands.
Okay, well,
because the bands.
I'm doing a different podcast.
Larson show. We're gonna talk about something else today. Yeah. Not what Jacob's talking about.
You handle topic 1, I'll handle topic 2, and we'll go back and forth.
Yeah, we just won't even.
Yeah. Okay. Between the blog sites.
Do you want Cheerios? No, yeah, I'll have a donut. Cheerios donut. Oh, I guess somebody got a banana somehow. I don't know.
I don't know what that was. Yeah, but it is more of a business. It's an unspoken business partnership because
even if they don't realize, then they don't realize stupid.
It is. Yeah, blog sites are helping them, the bands are helping them, and the blog sites, and it all works out.
I mean, and you got to make money somehow, but doesn't that sound like an annoying job to be like, okay, we're gonna have a metal blog site, and instead of posting about stuff we like, our lives are going to be based around sharing posts about bands we don't like, because apparently our target audience cares more about bands they don't like than bands they like.
Yeah. That just sounds like a job, if you're only doing that, a job that would kind of wear on you because of just being so negative all the time.
Yeah.
Or then also the thing of the readers of it and stuff, hating on these bands and stuff like that. It just seems like it would take so much energy.
I mean, people who make fun of these type of people, they'll be like, oh, that's just some guy in his basement, in his mom's basement, or whatever. Yeah. Well, that's probably not far from the truth. It probably is some guy who works at Wendy's, if he's lucky, just moved up from Burger King to Wendy's, and he doesn't.
You get paid on a commission, so you got a raise.
Yeah,
burgers are more expensive. You can catch that.
And probably hangs out in his basement, and what is cheaper than the internet? Maybe like not a lot of. I mean, the internet,
the outer net.
I mean, like think about it. The internet is one of the greatest things you can purchase for your house. It's like. Because you pay.
And we are sponsored by Cox this evening.
Yeah, however much your monthly payment for internet is, you now have all of the information in the world at your fingertips.
Yeah, you really don't need vacations anymore. Yeah, you can just. There's videos of places. There's images.
Yeah, you don't need to go to the places and watch videos of the places. No, but think about it. Like I was telling Hartley, you want to know one of the reasons why I like podcasts, listening to them. It's because they're free.
It's free entertainment that lasts a while.
It's free entertainment.
Yeah.
There's so much you can get with the internet, so that's why I like. But anyway, we're really straying. I don't know. So it's just kind of silly that when these people post on their Facebook walls and they're like, screw Emmure or screw Attila, not blog sites, just people, then these are the people who are like, yeah, I'm so counterculture, and they're just another.
I'm not conforming to someone. Conform to this.
Yeah. The fact that you can stereotype these people, I don't know. But you can always stereotype everyone.
You can probably stereotype everyone. Yeah. Oh, what are you, middle of the road? Is that all you are?
Yeah.
It doesn't really.
You never
matter.
Make a decision. Wow.
Oh, what do you do? Make valid points a lot? Oh my gosh. Can't believe you did that. I bet you have your own house. I bet you pay your bills on time. Oh, what do you have, a used car because you don't want to spend the money and buy a new one?
Well, that's the thing. If you're bringing up this kind of stuff, actually, you know what? That's probably true, is that besides teenagers who, as much as they think they don't have a lot of time, they have a ton of time and money. And even if they don't think they have money, the fact that they don't have to pay any of those bills
is a lot of money.
If you don't have any bills, now you have all this money to spend because you don't have to pay for anything else. But then you think about it, if there's an adult that has enough time in their day to legitimately care about how much they hate Emmure because Emmure writes a lot of breakdowns, you've got to wonder what that guy does. Now, there's going to be the exception. It's like, no, actually, I work 50 hours a week and I'm a responsible person and I'm actually really busy. This is just one of the... Okay, yeah, but you're the exception to the rule.
Yeah, exception to the rule for sure.
Most of it is probably...
I caught on that time. I know what you're talking about.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, the other people are probably like, I work at Hy-Vee.
Now that's a step up because they do pay you, and one of their little bonuses things, you get stuck, and so you end up kind of owning the company a little bit. So not only do you have your other stuff, you also this is off topic.
Yeah, because can't you be like an employee that work like own?
You can get a lot of money. You can get a good if you work there long enough. You can get a good amount of money in dividends.
Well, then now the guy just has that argument. If you bring it up, like I see, so I can bash Emmure, okay? And you know what? I don't know really anything. I mean, obviously, I don't know the Emmure people personally, but come on, their music is not as bad as you guys say it is. It's not. I can understand not liking it, not being into that style of music, but if you like Meshuggah and you can't like some of what Emmure does, this is people will probably think I'm an idiot for this, but Ben played me one time in the car. Future Breed Machine, I think that's a song, the alarm clock song. I thought it was Emmure because Emmure actually has some parts like that, and I thought it was Emmure until the Meshuggah vocals.
The only thing about that is that it's not. Oh, that sounds like Emmure. No. It's Emmure sounds like Meshuggah. I mean, Meshuggah did that song in 1995, so there's a good. Just saying.
No, yeah, that's why people are like, "You're so stupid."
No, but if that's what you heard first, though, that is what you would reference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I referenced.
Well, good job.
All right. Well, that's probably enough on this topic. Basically, if a band really isn't full of bad people and you just don't really like their music, why don't live in a world of hate?
Yeah.
If they're not doing horrible things to people,
like
why do you hate them so much?
An example is having sex with underage people.
Yeah, like
that is not
be outraged about this front porch step guy.
Yeah,
which is probably old news by now. But anyway, so
and if your friend is having sex with underage people, don't support that
either. Don't support that either.
Yeah.
All right, talk to you later, guys.
All right, bye.